Hi, I'm Mark Scherer. I'm the CEO of Encompass Life and the host of the Encompassing Life Podcast. Today we have Jill Sohayda on our call, and Jill is with Essex Health Health Spa
Med
Health
spa.
Health Med Spa,
Yeah.
and Jill's based in Denver, Colorado, and she has a background in internal medicine, which she had been practicing for. I believe she said she started in '99 practicing in internal medicine, and in about 2007 she started her own clinic, her own health spa or med spa, because she was a little fed up with the way the medical profession is and didn't like just treating people who were sick, and she desired to work with people to prevent them from being sick. So she's into the preventive medicine, Bob, and she has some unique experiences to share with us. So, Jill, welcome to the show again.
Oh, thank you. Excited to be here.
And so you started in your Essex in 2007.
Yeah.
Where'd you come up with the name for Essex?
We just kind of searched around and I wanted something that was simple and easy to remember, and that was kind of what we stuck with. So it's kind of like the essentials. So,
Okay, so essentials, and you got essentials, and you make that Essex out of that.
yeah, just yeah, so it kind of worked out well.
Awesome. And so when you started, did you have your own brick and mortar, or like just a small place, or just you? How did you start? What were your beginnings like?
Yeah, we started out with just a single room that we rented off of another business. And then over the years, we kind of grew to 4 rooms. And actually, about a year ago, we moved into an even larger facility. So it's been kind of a slow growth. I was working at part-time for many years until about 5 to 6 years ago because I had young children at home. And my husband and I are both in the medical profession. And so I was just kind of, doing that work-life balance.
So you were momming and doing this part time, a couple days a week or something.
Yeah, so I would work around the kids' schedule, kind of work 9 to 2 while they were in school and, you know,
Great, man.
yeah.
Gives you something, keeps you sane, gets you
Exactly. Yeah.
start building your career.
Yep.
Interesting. And you have two kids now who are graduating from college.
Yes.
And where do they go to school?
They both went to CU Boulder, so go Buffs.
Gotcha. So they lived at home while going to college.
No, they actually were both on campus, but they were only about 45 minutes away, which was nice. So they were close enough if they needed us, but far enough away they didn't feel like we were popping in on them all the time. So,
Awesome. And you
yeah.
said they're doing well and they're doing something other than the medical profession.
Yeah, they're more into business, financial stuff and engineering. So,
What
but they're
type of
both
engine?
they're both doing great.
What type of engineering are they into?
So our son's doing mechanical engineering of business, and then our daughter did business with finance, or if you want to say financial consulting. So, and that's what she's doing right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, and you were talking about how you've grown your own office at Essex, and now you have 4 or 5 people working with you. And from what I get, you really focus on the quality of the people that you have employed for you, and also seeing the quality of the requests coming from your patients.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Some of it is again just to make sure that you want to have the right mindset of the people that are here, but I really want to give quality comprehensive care so that we're kind of looking at all the factors, whether it's, medications they're on, their lifestyle habits, all that kind of stuff. Because it all factors into, one, how they're going to respond to our treatments and also our long-term game plan.
gotcha. And the services you offer, you do laser, you do Botox, like you do like the lip injections and all that as well?
Yeah, so we do all the injectables. We cover most laser services. And then we have an esthetician, well, actually two estheticians that are here that do all the like microneedling, dermaplaning, facials, chemical peels. And then we still have that other health component, which covers, hormones, PRP, which is platelet-rich plasma, treatments for joint therapy. We use PRP actually for a lot of things, even after laser treatments. And then we have, the hormone and the weight loss component as well.
What type of success have you seen with the platelets and joints?
I think they do a great job. I would say that probably 100% of the time I see improvement. Now, there are some clients that have come in. In fact, one of my clients needed a hip replacement, but she had a wedding to go to, and so we weren't doing it for resolution of her problems. We were doing it just to give her enough pain relief to get by for a couple months until she had the surgery. Yeah.
And that it achieves the pain relief?
It was amazing.
Really?
Drastically different. She was really having a hard time walking, but she needed about 2 to 3 months because she had some weddings and family things to do the one year, and so it was enough just to kind of get her by. So
Wow. I
yeah.
had no idea that that could work that fast.
Yeah.
Amazing. How does it, how does it alleviate pain?
It's kind of almost it's backwards thinking. It actually starts an inflammatory process, but there's two different types of inflammatory pathways. And
Hmm.
so that the PRP, they're adding nutrients to the areas that really need to heal, but it's also creating a type of inflammation that stimulates healing. So again, these are not, I tell people, for if you really have bone on bone and serious degenerative disease, it's not going to heal it, but that
Hmm.
inflammation actually really does. It's not bad inflammation, and it's actually a good inflammatory process that helps with the healing.
Interesting. First time I've heard it explained like that. I don't know a
Yeah.
lot of people who've got it, who had it done, and they said it worked wonders. But it's the first one I've heard it where, give me a couple of shots and let me get through until I can get surgery.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm learning more about all the about medicine by talking to with all that with doctors and things. You get to find out all kind of beautiful things about people, and it's kind of restored my faith in humanity in a lot of ways too. Because you watch the news and it's like, we're all going to burn in hell or something, and you start hearing this and what's really going on with people, and how they're really searching for things that actually work, instead
Right.
of just becoming sheep and taking the next pill or drinking the next cocktail or whatever it is that you think is going to make your life perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and that's like I said, it's so nice now, and I've always kind of had that mindset. I like looking at the bigger picture, and there's so many options out there these days. I always tell people if you truly need, medicine, that's great. But my goal is to really get you on the least amount of medication, educate you on prevention, and then come up with a plan to, try to help reverse problems. But
Hmm.
again, just trying to look at that big picture.
And
Yeah,
you work with weight loss as well, is
I
what you're.
do. Yeah.
And what type of products do you use for weight loss?
We use the more popular ones, the semaglutide and tirzepatide. But again, my goal is to have people on it for a short term and then try to wean them off. And with education, just give them some other tools they can use to kind of help them maintain that weight. So,
Gotcha. And how much weight have you seen people drop? Do you work with like really obese people or just people like, time to trim up a little bit?
oh no, we kind of see the whole, I need to lose 10, 15 pounds to people that need to leave or lose 50 to 60 pounds. So, but like I said, we've had great success with it. I've had some people that have lost, 40, 50 pounds on it. But and what's really empowering is when you see how much of a transformation they make and how it changes their life. So,
Right. They get up and start doing things, start becoming active again.
yeah.
Go maybe go to a swimming pool and take the shirt off or something.
Yeah. Feel good about themselves. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. Yep. I used to lift a lot of weights, and I gotten pretty big and strong on weights, and then I got into a wreck and couldn't lift anymore. And I was still eating like I did, like I was working out 5 or 6 days a week. I think I went from like 205 to 245, and from lean to like, holy moly, I'm getting ready to go into 38 pants, and what am I doing?
Yeah.
And so I did a weight loss deal, just my own diet. I went from 245 to 185, and that was a big shift for me. But man, it just felt so much
That's
better.
amazing. That's great.
Yeah, and then I got back, and then I started working out again. Once I had a broken shoulder and some other stuff, and once I was able to start working out again, I got back up to about 210 or something, and were able to maintain 210 to 212. So
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
yeah. So, and you said your prices range from a couple hundred to a couple thousand for the visit. Can
Yeah,
be.
yeah. Like I said, depending on what they need, they might come in and spend, 150 to $200 a first visit. And sometimes when we, are looking at kind of the treatment plans we put together, sometimes it might be a couple thousand when they're in, but we really, really try to structure everything. So one, they feel confident in what we're recommending and that they're really going to see good results with what we're doing.
Gotcha. And is most of your clients female, or you work with males as well?
We do work with males, and the male clientele base continues to grow. So I'd
So
probably say, we're
what do
probably still like an 85-15, mix, but
and what are you doing with the men who are coming in? What's their most sought after treatment?
oh, treatments, I would say the big two things are Botox and hormone therapy, but we do have some men who come in that also do PRP. Now, we use PRP again if people have injuries, but one of the big treatments for men is hair loss.
And the that works for hair loss.
It does. It helps to stimulate hair follicles to
So
get
there's
some
hope for me
growth.
with.
There you go. Yeah, we'll have to get you in.
Oh, that's the first I've heard. I've heard also. I had a chiropractor on here, and they're taking it and injecting it into the penis.
Yeah, like I said, PRP can be pretty powerful, and we use it a lot of times even after laser treatments because it really speeds healing and downtime. But I have a lot of people who come in that have had scars too, so we'll do other laser treatments in conjunction with the PRP. It just helps to break up the scar tissue and get it to heal in much more naturally, so it looks better. Yeah, there's so many uses for it these days.
Gotcha, gotcha. And you said all your treatments room were single treatments. And how many rooms do you have?
We have 4 treatment rooms.
And do people require to call and make an appointment with you, or do you have walk-ins available, or how does that
You
work?
know, people are always welcome to walk in. It makes more sense for them to call ahead. Yeah.
And where are you located?
We're in Southwest Denver in an area called Littleton.
Okay. And where and you have a website?
We do. We have a website. Yeah. We
And
have a
what's your
website, Instagram, and Facebook. So
and so how do people find you on the internet?
it's essexmedspa.com. Pretty easy to find.
And that's ESSEX
You got it.
Medspa, MEDSPA.com.
Exactly. Yep.
Cool. And you're the sole owner and proprietor, and you're there frequently.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Do you have any type of specials that you run for people to come in?
We do on occasion. We try to put together packages too, so people, with the package, it gives them a little bit of savings, but we do intermittently have, different deals that we'll put together.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So one more time, last question.
Yes.
What do you love about life, Jill?
Like I said, I don't know. I love outdoors. I love, athletic events, all that kind of stuff. Again, not that I've ever been a professional athlete, but I just love what it does for people. I think being outside and doing things like that and giving your mind needs a break just like your body needs a break. But I tell people it's amazing how different they feel when they just take a little bit of time out for themselves and get outdoors and do things.
Yeah. And you snow ski and mountain bike and all that stuff that's available in the Denver area, I guess.
Yes, yes. No, we do quite a bit. And I have to say there's even days where I'm like, "Oh, I don't feel like I have the time to do it," but I really notice a huge difference even for myself if I take that 15, 20, 30 minutes to go do something. It
Yeah.
changes your mindset, and that mindset is pretty powerful because you have a brighter, more positive outlook on life when you get done
Yeah.
taking that time and get
Get
some
some
exercise.
endorphins kick in,
Yep.
mental clarity comes up, all those
Oh
things.
yeah.
Creativity, playful. One of my favorite things, playfulness. I love playing. All right. So Jill, if somebody chooses to email you, Jill at well,
Info at essexmedspa.com comes directly to us.
info at essexmedspa.com. You can
Got it.
chat with Jill.
Exactly.
And I guess that's it, Jill. Unless you have any other things you'd like to share about your business or your life.
No, I really appreciate you taking the time to meet with me.
Well, thank you, Jill. And I hope to hear you doing some other things in the future and growing your business.
Sounds
Blessings.
great.